Welcome to the media studio at Enlit Europe. Today we're talking all things flexibility and demand response with John Ferris from LCP Delta. Hi John, welcome.
Hi Yusuf, thanks for having me.
So let's talk a bit about flexibility. How can this and demand response help assist with and coordinate consumption management?
So we're moving from a world where demand was predictable. It would increase in the morning when people get up, in the evening when people got home from work, but would typically be higher during the day than overnight, and during the week than weekends. And we're moving away from that world where people have EVs, we're electrifying heat, demand's much less predictable. On the flip side, generation is also becoming less predictable. It's less controllable, it's driven by weather. So we need more and more flexibility, but I think we need to get away from the idea of demand response being about coordinating demand, but about what the demand side can do to help coordinate the overall system.
And in terms of savings, I mean, the potential savings that can be offered by flexibility are quite widely known. Do you think that there's enough being done from the policy side of things to really enable this potential to come to fruition?
So we're seeing lots of pilots, lots of trials. There's lots of flexibility going on, lots of value at different parts of the network and different parts of the system. I don't think we're quite there yet in terms of coordinating all of that value, making it a simple proposition for consumers to provide flexibility when the system needs it and giving them full value. We've seen moves towards that with the clean energy package and the requirement for markets to be opened up to all sorts of assets. Implementation is lagging behind. So we don't necessarily need more policy action. We need to implement the policies that we've already got and allow consumers, allow prosumers, allow batteries, EVs, all these new assets coming onto the system to participate in these markets and make them open, make them competitive. So that'll give the value both to the consumer who's participating, but it'll also reduce overall system costs to benefit everyone.
Speaking about prosumers and about energy communities, what more can you tell us about their role in the current energy mix? And do you think that they are recognized as a future model for the energy system?
So we're increasingly seeing that as a model, particularly in Southern Europe, say Portugal, Spain, Italy, with the implementation of renewable and citizen energy communities. Again, the legislation, the regulations are there, implementation into national law, and actually making it happen is a little bit slower. But this, with millions and millions of assets being able to participate in the energy system, they do need to be aggregated at some level, and they can be aggregated at multiple levels. So seeing the growth of home energy management looking to coordinate and optimize within a home, so you don't have your EV charging at the same time as you've got your heat pump running and you're cooking tea, because the load from the grid would be so high. So you can coordinate at that level and try and make use of self-generation or internal storage to reduce your peak demand. You can also do that within a wider area. So an energy community can coordinate. They can also share assets. So instead of having individual batteries, have a community battery or community solar panels. And optimize, reduce the grid connection, reduce a call on the grid, particularly if it's in an area where the grid does have demand congestion. So rather than reinforce the grid, you manage it within the community. So I think there's lots of opportunities, lots of niches where this is going to happen. It's going to find the opportunities. But it's still, the legislation needs to be there, the supporting rules to enable them to actually get their full value from what they bring to the system.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights. It's been very interesting to hear about how these concepts are coming more into fruition and what more is needed. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Make sure to join the Enlit community and subscribe to all of our channels. Thank you for watching.